Whew, it is Monday. We had a lot of fun over the weekend. Oh, I forgot to tell everybody I'm going live. Hold on. Sorry, guys. One day I'm going to get this thing together. I thought I sent out the thing. Oh, look at there. Okay, I know I'm live because it's me. Notifications. So, yeah, let me put that on my church thread in case they haven't got the notification that I am live. We had a great day yesterday. As many of y'all know, my baby has got a learner's permit, and that's wow for me. So she's got her learner's permit, and she's doing her things, and me and her daddy are like having this. Some days it's a little hard because it's like I taught this person how to use a spoon. I taught this person how to walk, and now I'm turning the keys of a car over to said person. So I'm sure all my parent friends out here can relate that it's a little woo at times. Anyway, so we had some wonderful brothers and sisters in our church, Andy and Susan and Scott and all them and Ashley, and they just said, hey, let's go out to a driving course and we'll let her practice. We'll let her hop in the car with whoever and she can practice and she can drive. And so we had just a great time yesterday afternoon watching Katie, try to excel past 10. But she didn't do very often, but that's okay. That's okay. I would rather her be scared of the gas than not scared of the gas, I think. If you have a story, please let me know which is better, being scared of the gas or not scared of the gas. And a great place to do that is in our Facebook group, okay? All the chit chats, all the things, all the life. Share that on Facebook. Join our group if you haven't already. Let's see, all the announcements. Like and share. There we are. Okay. On YouTube, that's the red bell. Ring that. Follow us. Whatever. I'm gonna try to get us a Twitter account at some point. Lord help me. And then we will be tweeting. If you would like to give, onelifeataTime.churchcenter.com/giving. There you go. Good ministry helps us do what it is that we do. Okay. So moving right along. Morning, Mama. We are in 3rd John. Woohoo! And it's not Johan today. I had coffee before I started typing. Anyway. We are in 3rd John. Okay. I have just found on my Bible Gateway app that's on my tablet. If you have one, you can get a Bible Gateway app. And instead of I like YouVersion, and it may have this on there, but this one, I thought it was just the amplified version, but no, it's like a YouVersion setup where it's got the different versions. It has hold on, let me read it correctly. It has a a complete Jewish Bible. I am so excited. I came across in one of my books by Barron, I believe. Anyway, he was citing the Jewish Bible, and I was like, I want one of them. So that's been fun to compare notes on in my Jewish Bible. So that's kind of neat. I would, check it out if you have a well, I got a Fire tablet. I mean, I'm sure you can get a Gateway Bible app anywhere, but it's the Gateway Bible app, okay? So that's fun stuff to try. Let's get to it. I am not in the Jewish Bible. I'm going to be in the Amplified Classic today, okay? So this ought to be fun. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, it's time to wash the hair. Okay. Verse 1. There's only one chapter, so we should make it through the whole book today. The elderly elder of the church addresses this letter to the beloved esteemed Gaius, whom I truly love. There you go. So this is saying, an apostle. This is saying the one who started the church, the one who's over all the elders, or the apostle to Gaius. Gaius was more than likely one of the ministers in the church. And I say one of the ministers because this is where we're going to find one of the only type scenarios where, I mean, this is going to tell you what happens when a pastor wants everything just to go through them. Let's put it that way. Okay, it's never good. It's never good just to be the one that makes all the decisions. That's not good. It's good to have a circle to talk with, a board, a whatever you want to call it. Okay. Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in every way and that your body may keep well, even as I know your soul keeps well and prospers. Now, some people say, well, that's just a greeting. Well, you can have a howdy do if you want to, but I like the idea that my body, and in the regular Amplified, it'll say that you prosper physically as you prosper spiritually within your soul. So that's another thing. And honestly, guys, that good morning, Joe. That could be another one going back to the connection between sin and sickness. If your body is not physically prospering, okay, this is talking about your health. This is talking about having your needs met. This is talking whatever. It may not be talking about getting a brand new pink caddy. Okay. It may not be talking about, well, I just raked in $4 million. Okay. Cool your jets for a minute. But it's saying that I hope that you prosper in the natural as much as you are prospering in your soul. And that is just something. So if our soul gets a hang up and is no longer prospering, if we're no longer growing spiritually, if we're no longer moving forward and we're moving backwards, what's going to happen to our physical self? Just some food for thought. And you may think it's just a howdy do. I'm just putting that out there. Seems a interesting way to put things. All right. 3. In fact, I greatly rejoiced when some of the brethren from time to time arrived and spoke so highly of the sincerity and the fidelity of your life, as indeed you do live in the truth the whole gospel presents. He lives in that truth. What a great thing to be said. King James says he walketh in truth, which I think is amazing. 4, I have no greater joy than this, to hear that my spiritual children are living their lives in the truth. Okay. Remember in 2 John, because it was addressed to the elect lady and her children. Okay. So here you go. Here's John saying it again. He's using the term children for those that he has made disciples of. Okay, or those that he feels responsible for, those that he is over within the church. So this was a common terminology. John used this, Paul used this, Peter used, they all used this terminology of a parent to a child. This is another reason why it's apparent the elect lady was a leader within her church. Okay. Beloved, let's see. It is a fine and faithful work that you are doing when you give any service to the Christian brethren, and especially when they are strangers. When you take care of your brothers and sisters. Morning, Andy. Missionaries, things like that. We shouldn't begrudge them. Okay. They have testified before the church of your love and friendship. You will do well to forward them on their journey, and you will please to do so in a way worthy of God's service. That, guess what? That's financially. Take care of them. Take care of them. You loving them. They talking about how good you are. That's great. Keep it up. Keep it up. You know what? Why is he having to talk about the financial end of it? Well, because somebody got to be in their bonnet. That's why. All right. Where are we at? Verse 7. For these traveling missionaries have gone out for the name's sake, for his sake, and are accepting nothing from the Gentiles, the heathen and the non-Israelites. They ain't taking no money from them. So if they ain't taking money from the heathens, who should be supporting them for the work of the kingdom? The church. And you shouldn't have a problem doing so. So we ourselves ought to support such people, to welcome and to provide for them, in order that we may be fellow workers in the truth, the whole gospel, and cooperate with its teachers. Cooperate with its teachers. Don't be fighting with the missionary and the pastor and the ones who are instructing you. Cooperate with them. I have written briefly to the church, but Diotrephes, or Diotrephes, take your pick. I'm not Greek. Anyway, who likes to take the lead among them and put himself first, does not acknowledge my authority and refuses to accept my suggestions or to listen to me. Oh, he thinks he knows so much more. I wrote a letter and Diotrephes took it, and he ain't gonna listen to me, and he ain't gonna tell you what I said, and he knows better because he wants to be number one. Mm-mm. 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 That ain't how it works. That ain't how it works. He refused to recognize John's authority within this church. Now, John was writing to a church that he had authority over. These were his children. These were, no, that's not how it is. What is he going to do with little Diotrephes? So when I arrive, I will call attention to what he is doing. Sounds like he's coming with his wiffle ball bat. So let's see. To what he is doing, his boiling over and casting malicious reflections upon us with insinuating language. Oh, have you ever dealt with people that insinuates things? Well, I didn't say that. Well, that's what you sure meant. Insinuating. Yeah, I deal with that all the time, and I think any preacher that's preaching the gospel really will. People insinuating things, and it's usually a Diotrephes situation. It's usually somebody who wants more position, more authority, more whatever. But they want the honor without the labor usually. And that's where you get a problem. Oh, it's the armchair quarterback syndrome. Well, I'll tell you what I'd have done in that play. Well, why ain't you busting your butt and making those plays? Did you ever play college ball? Did you ever go pro? No. Okay. Okay. I don't know why we get it in our head that all of a sudden we know better than everybody else when clearly we don't. I was talking earlier this week, and there's some things that I know how to do, and that that is my area. People have got a question about scripture, they usually come and ask me because I'm a pastor. It's what I do. My mama is a retired RN. If I get anything going on, yes, I pray, and yes, I do that. But you know what? The Bible says the herbs of the field are for your healing. So that don't stop me from asking Mama, do I need to take an aspirin? What do I need to do here? How do I need? And I go with what she says because she has knowledge there. I realize that, she has some authority in that arena because I don't know what to do. I didn't spend my life in med school. I didn't spend my life working as a nurse. I didn't do that. So I don't know. If you want to know how to make soap, come see me. We will make a batch. I may not be a professional, but I've got experience and I've studied and I can do it. Now, if you got the opportunity to meet somebody that's got 40 years of soap making experience, they gonna know more than me. I'm gonna learn from them. It's not that difficult. As much as I like to cook and things like that, If I have a wild hair to change a recipe, I will call Brother Andy in a New York minute. Why? Because he's been doing it longer than I have. He's cooked in restaurants and things like that. So I have a feeling he knows what goes well together. And if I have, and sometimes he'll say, yeah, that'll work. And sometimes he'll say, no, you don't want to do that. When he say, no, you don't want to do that, guess what? I don't say, well, I think it'll be good. I go, oh, okay. Crushing my little dream. Nah. And I don't do it. Why? Because I don't want to ruin my dish. I want to have a good dish. You know what? I trust that because he's spent the time and the effort and a lifetime to learn these things and to put them into practice. There's a lot to be said of that. Now, Diotrephes over here, he refused to recognize what John had paid to be in the position that John was in. Because you got to understand, when somebody's in a position like as a pastor or anything else, I know a lot of people look and say, well, your dad died and you just inherited a church. Oh, well, yeah, okay. Sure, say that. They don't think about the 20 plus years that I've served in ministry, that I've sat under teaching, that I've learned, that I have led a children's department, that I have acted as an associate pastor, whether I had the title or not, and then stepping straight up into being a pastor during one of the hardest seasons of my life. Understand the price that is paid. Understand when someone is in that position of authority, they're there mostly because God put them there. Okay, that's the main thing. God put them there. But why did God put them there? Because they proved themselves. See, he calls people, but he wants them qualified. You can disqualify yourself from service. And Diotrephes was refusing to recognize authority. He wanted to be the only one. He didn't play well with others. And all throughout the New Testament, we see plurality of leadership. We've got to play well. We've got to play nice. We got to do better than that, okay? So he's got his insinuating language. He's making accusations. He's doing all this nasty stuff. And not satisfied with that, he refuses to receive and welcome the missionary brethren himself. He don't want, we ain't feeding them. We ain't taking care of them. We ain't letting them take my pulpit. And he also interferes with and forbids those who would welcome them and tries to expel them from the church. He's trying to kick people out that's wanting to house the missionaries, that's wanting to do good, that's wanting to, hey, we should give them an offering. Hey, we should cook them a meal. Hey, we should open our houses. Oh, no. That's too uncomfortable. We can't do that. And with that kind of talk, you need to go on down the road. There's some messed up stuff going on. But, it's not so different in the churches today, is it? 11, beloved, do not imitate evil. Do not imitate evil. There you go. But imitate good. He who does good is of God. He who does evil has not seen, discerned, or experienced God, has enjoyed no vision of him, and does not know him at all. If you are not doing good, if you're not an imitator of what is good, you don't know God. That's some harsh language. Again, this is not based on a little prayer that you said, is it? This is based on what you're doing. This is based on the fruits. Kids playing games and whatnot. Are they playing the hero, or are they playing to imitate criminals? Are they playing to imitate gangsters or whatever? We're supposed to be imitators of good. And I know sometimes when you're playing a game or whatever, you're playing a story role or whatnot. This is not, we're not imitating evil. We need to imitate good. All right, let's see. 12. Demetrius has warm commendation from everyone and from the truth itself. We add our testimony also, and you know that our testimony is true. Hey, let me tell you, I'm backing Demetrius. If you've come across him, he's good stuff. Everybody talks highly of Demetrius. I hope to see you in person soon, and I had much to say to you when I began to write, but I prefer not to put it down with pen and reed and ink. I hope to see you soon, and we will talk together face to face. Peace be to you. Goodbye. The friends here send you greetings. Remember me to the friends there, for every one of them personally, to every one of them personally by name. Wow, that is a personal church right there. We need to understand that we've got to be imitators of good. Just because coworkers are acting ugly, just because whatever is being ugly, you don't have to imitate that. You don't have to imitate a woke society. You don't have to imitate whatever nasty is going on in the political world. You don't have to imitate whatever is going on nasty between color wars. You don't have to imitate any of that. You're supposed to be imitators of good. Imitators of good. How do we know that somebody knows God? They imitate the good. They do good. They live good. They walk in truth. They love. They perfect that love thing. You know, we were talking again. I was talking yesterday about drumming. You know, I am not a skilled drummer. However, I can keep a money beat. I can do a few variations of the money beat, but that's about it. You know what? It's enough. It gets us through most songs if we need a drummer. Okay. So we've got a young man in church, and so I'm trying to teach him the money beat. You know, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Just simple stuff. Okay. This is the most basic. It is not fancy. There are no frills. It can get boring. Don't show off the skills. Okay, kind of drum. But you know what? Just about every song you can find a money beat in. Okay. You might have to vary the speed, but you can usually make that work for just about every song, any genre, whatever. And that's the good thing about money beat. I mean, you play that and you play in 80% of music right there. Anyway, so I'm trying to teach this young man the money beat. And he's wanting to go off on rolls and riffs. I mean, it's like animal beat drum. He's wanting to do all the flashy stuff. Yeah, well, what about this on the YouTube? I don't care what the YouTube said. You need to master this. You need to master this. Why? Because right now, all that extra, that skilled stuff, it sounds like a bunch of noise because he doesn't have the fundamentals mastered. Okay. The same way with people. People want to get in there and they want to be scholars, and they want to talk about how much they know and how, but they don't want to master the fundamentals. And what are the fundamentals? Loving God and loving people. You can only be as great as loving those people. You've got to master those two things. Without loving God and without loving people, you are just making a bunch of racket. I don't care how many Bible facts you know. I don't care how many hours you spend reading. I don't care how many hours you spend in prayer. If you can't simply love people, you need to go back and master the fundamentals. How do I know if I'm loving people? How are you treating people? Are you rude to your waitress? Are you ugly to your wife and children? Are you ugly to your husband? How are you treating people? That's how well you love them. It's not just saying I love you. It's not lip service. It's an action. Just like those that do good are the ones that know God. We've got to master those fundamental concepts before we can add to it. Let me tell you something. If you want to be a deliverance minister, you better learn to love people, because if you don't love people, you ain't going to stick this thing out, let me tell you. Because deliverance ministry is full of frustration. Because you've got to get angry about what the devil is doing to God's good creation, and you can't get the attitude, well, fine. You know what? They want it, they can have it. You have to constantly be ready to pray. God, you know, even if you ain't the one to go in and talk about it, God help them. God let them figure this thing out. God do this. God, you're still fighting that battle. You're not giving up on them, so to speak. And sometimes the battle is long. Sometimes it's quick. But most often it's long because there's the the teaching part that you have to do afterwards, changing the thought patterns, changing the way they do things. Because if not, it's just going to open the door right back up for the enemy. So, yeah, you've got to perfect your loving people. But anyway, I just wanted to get on here, and we've made it through all 3 of the epistles of John. Woo! Okay. So tomorrow we will be picking up something new. I don't know what. If y'all have any suggestions, feel free to put them up. I'd love to hear them. Who knows where we're going to go tomorrow, but if you haven't already got a Gateway Bible app, get you a Gateway Bible app. And check out the Jewish Bible. That's kind of neat to me. Some words, there's no translation. It's just a Jewish word. It's like, I'm going to have to Google that. It's so neat. Again, am I saying that, that's going to be my new barometer? No. Our guide is the 1611 King James. Okay, that's our standard. Now when we learn things that, hey, this is this way or this is that way, all right, we go with that. But it's kind of neat, to see. I like tools like my Blue Letter Bible app that allows me to check my Strong's right side by side and see what the translation could be, what it is, and how they got there. But anyway, guys, I will be at church tonight at 6314 Highway 32 East, Hortense, Georgia. Come out and join us if you ain't got nothing to do. Have a cup of coffee at 7, and we're going to teach deliverance tonight. It's going to be good. I love you. God loves you, and there ain't anything you